Let me ask you something real. Have you ever seen a moment so powerful, so perfect, so precise that it felt like destiny? Like it was written in the stars long before the world was watching. One shot, one strike, one goal that silenced the noise and rewrote the game. But what if I told you that goal didn't happen in that moment? It happened months before, in darkness, in silence, in sweat, sacrifice, and unshakable faith. In today's story, we are diving deep into how one early goal, yes, just one, became a living testimony of belief, science, discipline, and a divine blueprint hidden in the most unexpected place: the Quran. What scientists are just now beginning to understand, the Quran declared centuries ago. And when those two worlds, faith and science, collide, the result is something absolutely unforgettable. This is not just about soccer. This is about you, your purpose, your preparation, your moment that's coming. So don't blink, don't scroll, don't miss a second, because by the end of this video, you won't just understand how Morgan scored that goal, you'll understand how you can score yours. Stay with me. This journey might just change the way you see your future forever. The power of early preparation is a silent force that often goes unnoticed in the roar of applause after a goal is scored, after a trophy is lifted, after a dream is realized. But in truth, it is preparation that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. When Morgan scored that early goal, the world saw only the final strike, the shot that curved through defenders, past the goalkeeper, and rippled into the net. What they didn't see was the lonely field at dawn, the repetitions in silence, the sweat that had no camera angles, the prayers whispered under breath while others were still sleeping. That goal wasn't born in the first few seconds of the match. It was born long before, in the shadows, in the unseen hours of commitment, faith, and patience. Preparation is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual. Science now tells us that the brain creates neural pathways through repetition. Every time Morgan practiced that shot, his brain was wiring itself to react faster, smoother, and more precisely under pressure. It wasn't just talent, it was engineering from within, a blueprint written through effort. The Quran touches upon this when it urges the believers to make ready against them whatever you are able of power. Surah Al-Anfal Ayat 60. That verse, spoken centuries ago, has modern implications. It is not just about weapons of war. It's about preparation in all forms. It's about readiness of the mind, the heart, the strategy, and the spirit. Preparation is obedience to the laws of effort, and those laws never betray their adherents. When Morgan stood on that field just moments before the whistle blew, the preparation kicked in like muscle memory. The defenders hadn't warmed up fully, the crowd was still settling, the team wasn't yet in rhythm. But Morgan was already in motion, tuned into the frequency of readiness. That's why it was early. That's why it looked effortless. Because the effort had already been poured in long before the opportunity even showed up. The world waits for a chance. But those who prepare create their chance. Look around at history's greats, the legends of sport, science, art, and leadership. Behind each one lies a mountain of silent effort. It's not luck. It's never just talent. It's a lifetime of decisions made in the dark that create a moment that lights up the world. Morgan had no guarantee that first chance would come. But preparation doesn't wait for permission. It stays alert, alive, and on call. Because when that opening came, there was no time to think, there was only time to act, and only those who have trained themselves to act without fear, with instinct, can deliver when the window is just a sliver wide. Now, scientists talk about cognitive priming and the concept of flow state. This is when an athlete is fully immersed in the task, where time seems to slow down and movements are fluid and precise. But that flow doesn't happen by magic, it happens by programming. It happens when the mind has rehearsed the moment so many times that it no longer resists, it simply responds. That's the miracle of preparation. It turns fear into focus. It converts chaos into calm. It transforms a high pressure situation into an opportunity for expression. And the Quran speaks of this kind of state not in sports terms but in the language of the soul. It talks about the muttaqin, those who are aware, prepared, conscious of their purpose. These people aren't surprised by hardship or success. They've trained their hearts to be steady. Just like Morgan trained her feet, trained her mind, trained her body, the reward was not the goal. The reward was being ready when the moment called. Some say she got lucky, but luck is only real to the unprepared. To those who have labored in silence, who have sacrificed comfort, who have stayed ready, luck is just another name for recognition. And Morgan didn't need luck, she needed only the moment, because everything inside her was primed for it. Every drop of sweat said, I'm ready. Every late night said, I've been waiting for this. Every prayer said, I believe. And here's something deeper. When scientists looked at the habits of elite performers, they found one common thread. They all visualize. They don't just practice with their body, they rehearse with their mind. Morgan had seen herself scoring that goal hundreds of times before the game even started. Not once was she afraid of the pressure. Why? Because she had faced it already. In her mind, in her meditation, in her preparation. That's the difference. That's the unseen science behind greatness. But the Quran spoke about this level of belief long before sports psychology had a name. It talks about conviction in the unseen, the believer who trusts in what is not yet visible, who moves based on faith rather than fear, who walks into the storm because they know the one who controls the winds. That's Morgan. That's every champion. That's every person who prepares before the stage is set, who readies their soul before the lights go on. Because when the lights hit, it's too late to prepare. All you can do then is reveal. Think of a farmer who plants seeds in silence, no crowd, no praise, just dirt, water, and patience. And one day a green sprout appears. That's what early preparation is. It's sowing when no one's watching. Morgan's early goal was that sprout. It was the fruit of her harvest she had planted in faith. And isn't that exactly what the Quran teaches? And whatever good you put forward for yourselves, you will find it with Allah. It is better and greater in reward. Surah Al-Muzammil 73:20, that's divine affirmation that preparation is not wasted. Not a single effort goes unnoticed. We live in a world that glorifies the moment, the highlight reel, the celebration, but behind every celebration is a lifetime of private pain. Behind every early goal is an early morning. Behind every applause is an echo of sacrifice. The early goal is not early, it's right on time. It only looks early to those who weren't ready. But for Morgan, that goal was late. She had been ready yesterday. She had been ready 1,000 yesterdays ago. So when the pass came, when the ball rolled into that tiny window of opportunity, she didn't hesitate. She didn't think. She struck. And the net shook. And the stadium erupted. And the world asked, how did she do that so fast? The answer is simple. She didn't do it fast. She did it faithfully. She did it patiently. She did it repeatedly. That goal wasn't a surprise. It was a prophecy fulfilled. We all have moments like that ahead of us, moments when preparation will meet opportunity. The question is, will we be ready? Will we train before we are tested? Will we rehearse before we are required to perform? Will we walk in faith before the curtain is drawn? Because the truth is, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall back on your preparation. Whatever is inside you will come out. If fear is inside you, will come out. If confidence is inside, confidence will shine. If faith is inside, faith will speak. Morgan's story is not just about soccer, it's not just about an early goal, it's about all of us. It's about the power of starting before the world sees you. It's about building in the dark. It's about praying when there is no proof. It's about practicing when there is no promise. It's about knowing that your preparation is being recorded, even if no one is watching, because the one who sees all, knows all, and rewards all, He is watching. He is preparing you for the moment you don't see coming. And that moment will come. The ball will roll, the window will open, the test will appear, and when it does, you will not be caught off guard, because you will have prepared, you will have believed, you will have trained in the silence, and when the crowd finally sees the goal, you will smile. Not because it was easy, but because it was earned, because it was written, because you were ready. So when we look at Morgan's early goal, we're not just seeing a highlight, we're witnessing the outcome of unwavering discipline, relentless preparation, and silent devotion to a dream long before the crowd arrived. That moment on the field was the reward for 1,000 unseen battles. It was the collision of faith and effort, of science and spirit, of timing and trust. The Quran reminded us centuries ago that preparation isn't optional, it's sacred. It told us to stay ready, to believe in the unseen, to act before the world claps. Now, science confirms what scripture has already declared. The mind, the body, and the soul are capable of extraordinary things if they are trained with purpose. Morgan didn't wait for the game to warm up. She was the fire. She didn't hesitate when opportunity came because she had been living like it already had. And that's your call too. Whether you're on a field, in a classroom, chasing a business, raising a family, or healing from something no one sees, you've got a moment coming. And how you show up in that moment will be a reflection of everything you did when no one was looking. Greatness doesn't arrive on game day, it arrives every day before that. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Thank you for listening, for reflecting, for believing that you too are being prepared for something greater. Your early goal is coming. Your unseen effort is not wasted. Stay ready, stay grounded, stay faithful, because when that moment comes, and it will, you won't need luck. You'll just need to show the world what you've already prepared in silence. Good luck on your journey. May your effort be blessed, your steps be guided, and your goal come right on time. Peace and strength to you all.